Today we're going to experiment with the various symmetry tools in Photoshop, including the Mandala tool. The resulting images look detailed and complicated, but the symmetry tool in Photoshop allows us to easily make perfectly symmetrical drawings. Let's start experimenting. Here we are in Photoshop. We're going to start with a completely new blank canvas. Go to File, New, and here I'm selecting a 10-inch by 10-inch canvas with 300 pixels per inch and RGB color. Click Create. Now we have our blank canvas. We're going to go find our paintbrush tool and test out just using the regular paintbrush. Your paintbrush tool is on the left sidebar. Note that if you do not see your paintbrush tool, it could be hidden beneath another tool. Click and hold on existing tools to see what is hidden beneath. We are using the tool simply called Brush Tool. Now that we have our brush tool, let's go set a reasonable brush size. I'm also going to change my brush and just choose the general hard round brush. This is found under General Brushes. Click on the canvas and start dragging your brush around just to test it out and get a feel for the brush tool. Once we've done that, we can go to Edit Undo Brush Tool to remove what we've done. If you clicked multiple times with the brush tool, you'll have to click Undo multiple times as well. Now that we've tested out our brush, let's go find that Symmetry tool. When your brush tool is selected, the Symmetry tool shows up on this top toolbar. It is the one that looks like a butterfly. Select Vertical Symmetry. A vertical line shows up on your canvas, showing you where the line of symmetry will be. Click the check mark to accept this line of symmetry. Now start drawing. You can see that everything you draw is also mirrored across the line of symmetry. It doesn't matter which side of the line you draw on, and you don't have to stay on one side. Photoshop will mirror everything you draw with your brush across the line of symmetry. Go ahead and test it out. To change the color of your brush, use the color window in the upper right panel. If you do not see your color window, go to Window, Color, and click it so the checkmark is showing. This should allow the color window to display in the upper right panel. Go ahead and have some fun making a goofy drawing using the Vertical Symmetry tool. Let's make a new layer so that we have a fresh canvas. In the bottom right Layers panel, click the plus icon to add a new layer. Then click on the eyeball icon next to our previous layer to hide it. Now that you have an idea of how the Vertical Symmetry tool works, go ahead and try it on your fresh canvas. Now that we've tested out vertical symmetry, let's go look at some other symmetry options. In the bottom right Layers panel, add a new layer again using the plus icon. Make sure all of the layers we've already worked on are hidden by clicking the eyeball icons next to them. Let's go back to the Symmetry tool on the top toolbar. Remember, it's the one that looks like a butterfly. This time we are going to choose Horizontal Symmetry. Click the check mark and begin drawing. You can see horizontal symmetry is very similar to vertical symmetry. Everything you draw is mirrored across the line of symmetry, which just happens to be a horizontal line now. I'm drawing a very ugly picture now, so I'm going to create a new layer, hide this one, and attempt to draw something a little more recognizable. Many times when you're using the Symmetry tool, there will be details that you want to add that you don't want mirrored, such as the eyes and fin of this fish. Simply turn off the symmetry and then add those details. We've played around with the horizontal symmetry. Let's see what other options are under the symmetry menu. Go ahead and create a new layer and hide this previous one, just like we did before. Let's experiment with spiral symmetry. You'll see a spiral image on your canvas. Click the check mark to apply it. Pick a color and start painting. You can see that spiral symmetry can get a little confusing and pretty messy. But once you get the hang of it, try creating a new layer and starting over. It doesn't have to be perfect since we are just practicing, but you can use the eraser tool to redo pieces if you want to fix things up. Now for some really cool symmetry. Let's create a new layer again and then go to the symmetry tool and select Mandala. You'll get a window asking you to enter the number of segments that you want. Enter 8 and click OK. Your canvas will appear to be divided by diagonal lines into 4 pieces, but it's actually going to be 8 segments. Start drawing. As you can see, even very small movements of the brush will create a detailed, perfectly symmetrical mandala. Remember to switch the color of your brush often to get a more visually interesting picture. Add details both towards the center and out by the edges. Once you've gotten the hang of it, create a new layer, hide this one, and then let's select Mandala Symmetry again. But this time, only give it 4 segments. Go ahead and start painting. You'll see that with fewer segments, our drawing is being repeated fewer times. It has more of a boxy appearance than the previous 8-segment mandala had. What if we do more segments than the 8-segment example? The maximum number of segments is 10. Let's go ahead and test a 10-segment mandala out. Now that we've made quite a few drawings using the symmetry tools, go back through and review what you've done. Click the eyeballs on and off on the different layers to see your individual drawings. You may also want to go test out some of the other symmetry options that we haven't used today, like radial or wavy. Go ahead and pause this video to make a few more symmetrical drawings of your choice. Once you have a few that you like, come back and we'll create a picture with them. Welcome back. You should have a few symmetrical drawings, maybe mandalas or any other kind of symmetry, that we can now export. With just one of your layers showing, go to File, Export, Export As. Note that we could use this quick export as PNG, but let's use the full Export As option for this one. The Export As window appears. Yours will probably be set to JPEG. You want to change this to PNG. This is important because PNG has the ability to be transparent, while JPEG will show your drawing on a white background. We'll come back and show the difference in a bit. For now, make sure transparency is selected and click Export. I'm going to go ahead and also export this same image as a JPEG just to show the difference. You don't have to do this export with me. Go ahead and export all of the other images that you want to use as PNG files. You can use the Export As window or the Quick Export as PNG option. Now we have a few images to use. Let's create a new file. I'm going to go to File, New. I'm going to create a new file that is 30 inches by 30 inches and 300 pixels per inch. You can change any of these values on the right side of this window and click Create. Great, now I have my new file. I'm going to give my first layer a background color. Click on the paint bucket in the left sidebar, select any color you like, and click anywhere on your canvas. Now I want to bring in one of my drawings. Create a new layer by clicking the plus icon in the Layers panel. To bring in my drawing, I'm going to go to File, Place Embedded. I'm going to find my exported .png file, select it, and click Place. My drawing gets placed in the center of my file. I can resize it using the corners of the box, and I can move it around. Once I'm happy with where it is, I will click the check mark. Since this is a .png file, it is transparent, and my background layer can be seen through my drawing. I'm going to show you now what it looks like if you were to bring a .jpeg file in. As you can see, the JPEG has a white background surrounding it. I don't want to keep this in my image, so instead of the check mark, I will click the cancel icon. Go ahead and import the rest of your .png exports that you'd like to include in your image. You'll see that each time you use the Place Embedded functionality, it will create a new layer for you. The layer will have the name of your file that you just embedded. Once you've embedded all of your drawings, we'll go ahead and export our new combined image. Go to File, Export As. For this image, we don't have any transparency that we need to save because we have a solid background color. So we will export this as a JPEG. Once your image has saved, you should be able to find it in the saved location. Great job! Now you know how to use symmetry tools to create unique drawings, and you know how to export them to PNG in order to maintain their transparency. Have fun making lots of awesome, perfectly symmetrical drawings.